Happy Sunday everyone. The Fiesta auction ends tonight, so I've gone and picked it up. You'll have to excuse the rattling in the back. I've got the wheel arches, the spare body kit I said I'm going to throw in with the auction. I'm going to take the car and give it a quick hoover at Sainsbury's down the road, and I'm going to take it to mum and dad's and give it a good clean. This is the last time I'm going to be driving the car. Fingers crossed whoever wins the bid tonight can come and pick it up tomorrow and get it out of the way while it's the bank holiday. I hope it goes for good money. I've really enjoyed having this thing, but it is time for it to go. So I better go and get it hoovered out. There she is, rumbling away, and look at that sky. I think it's going to absolutely piss it down. Seeing as this is the last drive I'm going to be having in the Fiesta, I'll just give it a good hoover. It looks mint. I should have done it sooner really. I think that's actually the first time I've hoovered it since I've had it. I've asked my wife to ask me a few questions about owning the Fiesta, and she's going to ask me them now, and I'm going to give me honest answers on everything. The first one is, what made me buy the Fiesta? The honest answer to that is, I might have said it in the past on a few forums. I used to walk past a guy when I used to work at Ford who owned one of these, and one day I asked him if I could have a look inside it, and he told me to F off, and I thought, you know what, I'll just get one day. And it might have took me 17 years, but I did finally get one. A turbo wasn't really something that I had a bit of a connection to. I had a few friends who had them when we were younger, but they were nothing that I really used to look at and think, oh, I really want one of them. Don't get me wrong, I'd have one now, but that's pretty much why I picked the RS 1800. It's something a little bit different, and I was so used to being 16-year-old in 2001 working on the Z-Tech engine. I knew it was really reliable, and if you could get one that had been looked after, you're going to have no problems with it. The next question was, would I buy another Fiesta RS 1800? And the answer to that is two, right? I'd kill for a red one. I've got a thing about red cars. It'd have to be one of the early ones again, with no power steering, preferably with low mileage. Let's see if one pops up. If it does, I'm going to nab it, but I doubt I'll be able to get it for what I paid for this. Next question is the most memorable moment of owning the Fiesta, and it's got to be when I drove it back from Essex. I'd never met this car before. I'd never met Mike, who I owned it off. It was a 250-mile drive, and I followed my wife all the way home, and I just kept stopping off at fuel stations because the fuel gauge wasn't reading right. It seemed to take forever, but when I finally got home, I just fell in love with this car because it hadn't missed a beat and it hadn't let me down. The fuel tank were leaking a bit, the gearbox were wumping, but mechanically the car just went straight for it. It was a steady 80 mile an hour all the way home, and it didn't miss a beat, so it did me proud that day. The next question is the worst moment of owning the Fiesta, and it has to be when the fuel tank imploded. I didn't know what to do. I was trying to figure out what it were, and it turned out it was the anti-trickle valve causing some kind of vacuum in there. It was an aftermarket tank as well, which I believe aren't strong enough to hold the strength, and that's why they implode. I had to go and buy a genuine tank and refurbish it myself, which I did a video on, and since then the car don't miss a beat. The next one's the best tool I've bought when I've owned the Fiesta. You've got to buy new tools when you get a new car, but I've got to say the most important tool I've had when I've owned this Fiesta has to be that workshop manual, the Haynes workshop manual for the Fiesta. It's an absolute Bible, and I know sometimes it can be a bit vague putting things back together where it's like just do this in reverse, but I've referred to that manual a lot when I've got stuck, and it's helped me do the suspension, it's helped me do everything that I've done on this car, even down to the gearbox that I did the other week. I got it off eBay used, I think it was £6, and for £6 I couldn't ask for anything more. It's like having a master technician stood side of you, so yeah, I think it was a Haynes workshop manual. The next question she asked me, am I going to be sad to see the Fiesta go? And my honest answer to that is yes and no, because anyone who knows, when you're working on a car yourself, you're not paying anyone to do it, and things go wrong, it's the worst situation to be in. Like the other week when I did the gearbox, I spent that long making sure I'd done it properly that when I got round to actually putting the gearbox back in, I had no energy left, and luckily my cousin only lives around the corner and he's an absolute beast, and he come round and helped me put it back in. I was gutted when it didn't cure that wumping noise. I was convinced it was the gearbox, but I still had the wheel bearings done, and the car's silent now when you drive. Just a little bit of a knock where I've reset the exhaust wrong and it just needs adjusting again. It just bangs underneath with the new rubbers on, it's lifted it up too high. So when things are going wrong, I don't think you are sad to see the car go, but then when you step back and you finish the job and you've done it yourself, you're absolutely over the moon, and you bond with the car. As you work on it, as you drive it, you get to know the car, you get to know all the little niggles, and you want to sort them out. So I think my honest answer is I will be gutted to see this car go. It's kept me very occupied while my house is being built. It's kept me out of trouble. It's kept me busy at the weekends, and I just think it's something good and productive to be doing with your time. So yeah, I will definitely be sad to see it go. It'll be probably quite hard when I hand the keys over to the new owner. Hannah saved the big question for last, and that's what next. And I think I'm going to take the plunge and buy an Escort RS Cosworth. I'm not really. Can't afford one. Anyway, what next? We've just been, as you've seen, if you've watched my video from the other day, we've just been down to Hertfordshire and bought her a new sport car. There's quite a few jobs that need doing on that, but they're not massive jobs, they're not massive mechanical jobs. A lot of it is the body shop where they can do it, they can be cracking on with it and keeping it out my way. But I am keeping my eyes peeled for stuff. I've got the Evo 6 coming over on the 20th of September, which I'll start getting stuck into that as well. But I'm a forward lad, I've grown up with them. I did my apprenticeship there when I was young, and I do feel that it's always nice to have a car that needs stuff doing to it. And ideally, I'd like a Escort Mark 5 RS 2000, or even a Mark 6 if I can get one cheap enough. I don't want one that's a showstopper or anything like that, just one that needs some stuff doing to it, preferably in a flat colour so I can learn how to spray myself on it, and it needs a few little minor bodywork jobs, maybe a bit of filling, because I need to get learning doing that stuff as well. The other thing is I'm going to probably book myself on a welding course as well, and I'm not saying this to become a champion welder, it's just so you can learn the basics and maybe do a few little odd jobs yourself as well. But them are the questions that she's asked me, so I'm going to now go and finish cleaning the car, give it a good old bath, clean it with my own tears, and then see how she looks after that. Sorry, my wife's just put in, she sat outside of me like usual, and she's saying that I should ask you guys, have you got any questions you want to ask me? Fire away down in the comment section below. Like always, if you see my other videos, I reply to everyone, so it'll be good to see what you guys say. Well, that's the Fiesta all turbo washed. Outside tyres and inside. It smells and looks lovely. Hopefully the new owner feels exactly the same when he comes and picks it up. This will be the last time you see the Fiesta now. I'd just like to thank everyone for watching me with this car. I hope you've enjoyed the videos. I've really always worried thinking that they're a bit boring, especially with my monotone voice, but I hope you've enjoyed it. There will be more cars to come, so keep coming back. And like I say, anyone who's just coming back and starting to watch the whole series on the Fiesta RS 1800, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got my wife's sport car, I've got the Evo 6 coming, and I'm also keeping my eyes peeled for that Mark 5 RS 2000. So once again guys, thank you so much for watching. I've nearly hit 10,000 video views in total as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. I never ever thought I'd get anywhere near that, and I think I'm up to about 95 subscribers as well, so please try and make it so I hit 100 before end of weekend, the bank holiday. And I know I've said it a few times now, but thank you so much for watching and coming back and leaving your comments and hitting that like button. Thanks a lot guys.